Hey guys, Knucklehead here. Heading on into work. And just before I bailed out, I was surfing the net and looking, various Facebook posts and shit like that. And ran across this one in a group probably the vast majority you will never probably be in. It's for 50-plus-year-old motorcyclists. As probably some of you surmised, I'm an old fart. I don't drive a sport bike anymore. I started out on dirt bikes and, all that shit. I've gone through it, and now because of injuries and all sorts of shit like that, cruisers and touring bikes are more my speed. Of course, that speed sometimes gets up to about 100 miles an hour, but that's another point. Anyway, so I'm reading this 50-plus motorcycle forum on Facebook, and there's this guy posts on there saying that, he's from Rockville, lives in Burtonsville now, and he works in DC, apparently in IT or some shit like that for a hospital. And he was stuck in DC traffic yesterday, which is nothing new. As on one of my other previous rants, Maryland and DC traffic's usually ranked either number 1 or number 2 as the shittiest most drivers in the entire country, and has some of the worst driving times. Anyway, so he's leaving work at 3 o'clock. If he wasn't in IT, I'd almost swear he was a politician. Leaving work at 3 o'clock, hops on his motorcycle and starts heading home to Burtonsville. And he's traveling down the road, and of course traffic sucks. Welcome to DC. And he's stuck at a traffic light for 2 or 3 cycles, as he says. And there's an SUV parked beside him. At first he thought the SUV just wasn't moving, but then he later realizes in the story that the SUV is parked and there's nobody in there. So he decides to punch the fucking mirror, and then, he was just going to upset the mirror, but he ends up busting the mirror, and he hears glass crack. So anyway, I'm looking at this thing, and I'm like going, a little bit of stereotyping going on. I expect this from the fucking 20-something-year-old Facebook groups about motorcycles where everybody's glorifying, doing 100 miles an hour, in between traffic, lane splitting, fuck the police and all that stuff. I expect that from the from the younger motorcycle groups on Facebook, not the 50 fucking plus motorcycle riders thing. The whole issue about, and then he ends his comments like, I'm trying to justify my conscience. Like, really, dude? The whole shit about, destroying other people's property where this guy is legally parked in a parking spot and he smashes the fucking rear view mirror. All that shit aside, especially when, you suffer damage to your vehicle and you report it to your fucking insurance company, that just jacks up rates for everyone else who's with that insurance company. So, if that guy had the same insurance company I did, thank you very much for fucking help raise my rates because this asshole has a fucking anger management problem. Anyway, getting back to things, I'd expect that maybe from some younger riders, some newbie riders and shit like that. Not for some guy who fucking was born in the area, grew up, knows the damn traffic in the area sucks. I'm probably going to piece together just some of my traffic ride from yesterday where there was a shit ton of traffic and it took me forever to get home. Is it frustrating? Yeah. Do you fucking punch a parked vehicle, one that's parked illegally? No. But beyond all that, it just annoys me to no fucking end that this guy is, supposedly, and looking at his picture, he is, made it to 50 fucking years and is a rider and still has this newbie mentality and anger issue with inanimate objects, or even if the person was there in the car. You just don't fucking walk up and punch people or destroy other people's property just because you're pissed off because you're stuck in traffic with that you've been fucking dealing with in your entire 50-year lifespan. Anyway, that's my morning rant. Knucklehead out.